Hello guys, we are back with another Terraria modding tutorial. Now guys, I am really sorry I haven't uploaded a video in almost a year. I do apologise for that, but yeah, we are back into it today, and I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone for 300 subscribers. We reached a couple of days ago, and I'm really grateful for all the support on my videos. I think one of my videos is now over 22,000 views, which is absolutely insane. So thank you guys a lot for that, and yeah, we are back, and what we are doing today is we are doing our own yo-yo, as you can see from the title of the video. So the first thing you want to do, as always, is go over to your mod file over here on the right under your items, weapons folder, right click, add, new item, and then class, and then just rename it to whatever you want your yo-yo to be called. This instance I've just called my file test yo-yo, as you can see up here. And yeah, this is the code that you will need. I will leave it on screen at the moment. It's pretty normal code, so you sort of had the default names up here, the description. This stuff is stuff you just kind of need for a yo-yo. Don't really know why, but you do. And then here are all the defaults. So use style you want to keep as 5 because that's yo-yo, width, height, that's the actual projectile. Use animation again you want to keep at 25. Yeah, you can customize then shoot speed, knockback, damage, all this stuff to your liking. I mean, I have my damage at 500, which may be a bit high. And then you want to put all these item.melee channel, no melee, no use graphics in. Again, they are just for yo-yos and what you need. Again, and then down here is the sound it will make, the value of it, and what it will actually shoot. And then obviously you can add your own recipe down here. So because we have set item.shoot mod projectile test yo-yo projectile, now this is the projectile which we are going to go ahead and have a look at because I have already created it. So again, you want to go over back to your file, right click on your open your projectiles file, right click and go add new item, and then rename it to whatever you want it to be called. This instance I've just called it test yo-yo projectile. But one thing you have to be sure is that your the name of this file is the same as what you put in here, otherwise you will have some issues there. Okay, so this is where the code gets a bit confusing. For a yo-yo, granted, it is a bit different, but I'll take you through it. So this first, I mean, these green bits do help to explain it as well, and I can't take credit for that. I have used external sources, but I will link them in the description below. So this first one is pretty self-explanatory. You can set how long you want to leave the yo-yo out for. As you can see, 3 is for wood, and 16 is for the longest yo-yo in the game. -1 sets out indefinitely, so I have put mine to -1 just because it's better. And then the maximum range is obviously how far it can go from the player. Mine's currently at 400, but I might actually change this to maybe 700, just so you can get extra reach. And then yo-yo speed is how fast it will move. Again, I might change this to about 25, just because I think 19 is a bit slow when I've been testing it. So then we come on to the set of defaults. You can this stuff is all pretty self-explanatory as well. Penetrate says how many enemies it will penetrate through. I've set mine for -1, so it won't actually penetrate. Melee, you want it to do melee damage, so you set that to true. Scale is the size of the projectile, so we could double the size if we wanted to. Let's do that, just to see how it goes. AI, this is the interesting bit. Now, what I've done is I've created a yo-yo that will shoot another projectile. I mean, I've used a vanilla projectile, but this line here basically enables you to create your own projectile. So what it does is from 0, so basically generates a number from 0 to 10, and then it will generate that yo-yo when it's equal to 0. Here we are defining the position of the yo-yo, so we've got position X and position Y, so this is the actual position of the yo-yo. And then these values represent, what do they represent? The speed, so we can just set that to 0. This value here represents the style of the projectile. So I've used 274, which you can have a look on the wiki, at the Terraria wiki, is the Demon Scythe ID. So I've used that. 50 is the damage, and then you can set the knockback. We currently have it set to projectile.knockback, so we'll actually use the knockback that we set here, so 2.5. And then this main.myPlayer means that the projectile belongs to you and not another player, for example if you're on a server. Down here we have Override Void on hit NPC, so what the projectile will do if it hits something or someone. So again here this is just defining to make sure that it's the person's projectile that YoYo has used it. Here again we are generating a random integer from 0 to 1. You can change that value to make it bigger. So if the result of this random integer is 0, it will add iCore, but if it is 1, it will heal you 15, and then this owner.heal effect shows, it's like those green numbers that appear above your the player's head. Again, I did get this from external means, especially this code, but I will link that in the description below so you can use it for yourself and adapt it and change it if you want. Again, here is just some more notes on the actual YoYo use. I will leave all the code in the description so you can just copy everything I have. And then this line here is basically creating some dust for the projectile. Again, we can change the scale. Dust is quite hard to do. There are actually several tools you can use to generate your own dust. One of them is called the Modder's Toolkit, but I will leave a link to that mod in the description below because I think it is really helpful when creating dust in the game in general. So once we have now created these two files, our test YoYo and our test YoYo projectile, we need to go ahead and create a texture for them. Now I have already created a texture for them and I will show you the textures now. So let's open our test YoYo. Okay, so that's really bad, but basically this is what our YoYo will look like. So that's the held item of the YoYo. And then we can go and have a look at the YoYo projectile. Have a look at this, and so this is the projectile. It's sort of a shuriken type thing. Didn't take me very long to do, but it's just basically to show you how to do it. Again, you need to make sure that your file and projectile have exactly the same name. I'll just go ahead and delete that, don't need that. Yeah, make sure they have the same name, and the same with these two classes up here. Make sure their names are the same, otherwise you will get an error. So that's all the coding stuff out of the way. I'll go now and head into Terraria so you can actually see what this stuff looks like in game. Okay guys, so here we are back in Terraria. What you want to go and do as always is go to mod sources, find the mod you want, hit build and reload. You should see it compile. Any errors you get at this point, it will display and give you a recommended fix. And then you want to go single player, select any character you want. I'm going to go this guy and my world, which is modding test. And yeah, so here is our YoYo projectile. I'm using a cheat sheet mod at the moment called Heroes mod, which is really nice, so you can just go ahead and grab your projectile. But yeah, this is our YoYo. As you can see, the damage is very high at 619, and then you can see it's got our knockback and our description that we set. So if we go ahead and use this, as you can see, we have a huge projectile. Yeah, granted the texture doesn't look brilliant, I have to admit. But as you can see, it is shooting the Demon Scythe projectile from vanilla Terraria. So if we go ahead and spawn in lots of angry bones, which I always do to test on, and we can see how this projectile will actually work. So it will linger in the air, as the vanilla one will, and when it hits someone, it will obviously kill them because it's dealing 600 points of damage. Now, one thing to note, if we go and take loads of damage deliberately, there we go, just get nice and... So now, because we set it to heal us randomly on a scale of 1 to 2, I mean, you can change this yourself, so it heals you more or less, but as you can see, we get 15 above our head very often, which means it's healing us an insane amount, which we... Oh god, what are these things? I don't know. But yeah, we might actually want to go and change that, because that healing rate is actually insane. But yeah, so it's all up to you. You can customize it however you want. I've set it to heal. You can add other debuffs. You can have it to apply effects to you, for example. You can have it to do basically whatever you want. Now we are back in Visual Studio. You can come here and see how this is working. So on a scale as I said before, it generates a random number between 0 and 1, so I might go and change that to 10, just because having it heal 15 basically a second is a bit overpowered, so we're going to change that to 10, so it's a bit more random. The main bit of code that I really like is being able to shoot a projectile from your YoYo projectile, which I think is really cool. So again, I'll leave a link to how you can customize it further in the description, but this is basically the main code you want, and then you can go and customize this value here to whatever you want, and then this value here for the damage. This value here you can almost use most of the vanilla Terraria, I think, but just be careful of what you do, because some do work and some don't. But yeah, that is basically it for today. We have implemented our own yo-yo and had it shoot its own projectile. As you can see now, the range of this yo-yo is absolutely insane, and the scale of it is a bit out of proportion as well. But yeah, we have created our own yo-yo. It can shoot its own projectile. So yeah, that's gonna about wrap up today's video. I just want to thank you guys again very much for 300 subscribers. Couldn't have done it without you. I really appreciate the support, and yeah, I hope to do more videos in the future. Sorry I haven't uploaded in absolutely ages, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next Terraria video. Goodbye.